Okay.
We need some. We're gonna have to think of a graphic for that because otherwise, it's just gonna be us two idling here and looking stupid. We need a graphic.
We
So you
need
got
to
to
for
put your
sure.
Canva skills to use.
Yes, my Canva. I can make something up. Well, hello, Simo, and welcome to the first episode of season 3. Oh my god, it's season
Hey,
3.
Juliana, happy 2024.
Yes, happy late belated
Yes.
2024. Oh man, we're back. We're back. So for everyone that was wondering if we're gonna do it again, we will, and we are right now. So excited, Simo, for this season. Excited to chat about what have you been up to. So what have you been up
What have I
to?
been up to? So yeah, last time we talked was in December. So we've had Christmas and New Year's, and we've had start of the year rush. Um, I don't know, like business as usual. Like the kids have been healthy and
Yay!
been to a couple of gigs, and it's just life is back to normal. It was never abnormal, but it's kind of just it's surprising how when January comes and you feel like, oh man, we have to start a whole new year, and then in a couple of weeks you're back in the groove. So now I feel like I'm back in the groove.
I agree. I agree. I started this new year with big, New Year's resolutions, and it kind of like lasted me for 2 days because now I'm feeling
What were those?
just like be less, like say yes less to people.
Yeah.
Stop posting so much, caring so much about content. But hey, here I am, back
So
at
you
it.
made a resolution to be less you. That makes no
Be less
sense.
myself. I know. So it kind of like lasted for 2 days, and then I started working again. I had a great vacation for 3 weeks. I don't know when was
Mm,
the last time I had 3 weeks. I only played Diablo. That's all I
good,
did.
good.
So good, so good. But yeah, I just got back to work and I'm already burnt out. So yay!
Yeah.
That's how
Oh,
it is.
it is. It is. But hey, I do have a quick life update. So
Oh shit.
2 weeks ago, I have health update. I have been having these weird like stomach aches, and when you get older, things start to ache. And for over a year actually, and I've been to the doctor a couple of times, and they've ruled out everything.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks ago, I went to like a doctor who specializes in also in like nutritional stuff, and I was telling them about these pains, and they said that so how much coffee do you drink? And then I so I told the amount, which is quite a substantial amount of coffee, and the doctor then said that you could just as an experiment you could try just quitting for a while to see if it helps, just for a while. And so I quit coffee cold turkey
Oh shit.
after that doctor's appointment, and the stomach ache just went away like nothing. So this is very interesting. So I've been now off coffee for 2 weeks, considering that I used to start my day with a whole pot, and then just even more as the day progressed. But yeah, the acidity, the acidic qualities of coffee, and I know that there are coffees that have like a high pH value or whatever that are not that disruptive to the stomach, but I'm actually kind of enjoying this. I don't actually I stopped my caffeine intake almost entirely because I do tea, but only the kind
Tea.
of decaf stuff. So it's interesting. The first 2 or 3 days were really really horrible. Like I used to smoke, and this was much worse than quitting smoking, much worse. It was like just migraine headaches and just the worst time. But then those stopped as well, and now I'm actually pretty good. And just to kind of stir the pot further, at the same time when I quit coffee, I thought, how could I make this even more interesting? So I also quit like sweets and sugar and stuff.
That's where we break.
And,
That's where we separate paths.
I've been so messy with that, like every single
Me too.
day eating something. So now I've been off that for 2 weeks as well. So it's yeah, exactly. So yeah, I have my sugar free smoothie. So it's pretty interesting. I'm actually really enjoying this. I'll go back to coffee at some point because I just really miss the taste. But maybe start looking into like low acid stuff, not the kind of stuff that I love, which is the
Yeah, the good shit.
dirtiest like gas station coffee. I really love that. The longer it's been standing in the pot, the better. Like yesterday's coffee microwaved, that's the best. Like there's nothing that beats that. So
Oh
I'm
man.
having a tough time with that. I have to move to some like super luxurious stuff like Americanos or cappuccinos. So I don't want to do that, but we'll see.
Okay, so it's just like ground coffee that causes this stuff. Because I drink like 3-4 coffees per day, but I bought myself an espresso device in December. 10 out of 10 recommend. Like the
Yeah,
coffee is good, but I don't know, man. Like I couldn't give up coffee because I'm a smoker. Like imagine, it's
yeah.
part of my identity.
No, no, I know. It's and but for it's the same
But it
thing as with
makes
smoking.
sense.
So with smoking, the toughest thing to quit is the habit, right?
Yeah,
So it was just the same thing with coffee. Like when I quit smoking, there was no vaping or anything, so you just had to quit. Like there was no substitute for it. Like gum and stuff, they just help with the nicotine withdrawal, but
yeah,
not with the actual habit. So it was a very mental thing to quit it. But with coffee, it's the same thing. So I have to have a cup of something hot liquid. So that's why I drink the decaf tea, and it helps with that. Like this,
the
this
habit. Yeah,
habit is what I'm working on. But yeah, I think it's good. Like it just feels like an unnecessary addiction in a way, but I have to find a way to moderate it because I'm always like all in. If I start doing something, then it's gonna be. So I'm just happy I don't do hard drugs because I would be strung out all the time.
I
So
would get
if
those
coffee
Christmas
was the
lights and
worst,
come on you again with those
yeah, for
Christmas
sure,
lights.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
yeah,
I
this
would
is
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I
yeah,
mean, of course, if the doctor tells me, that
yeah,
I have to, I might have to,
yeah,
quit. But yeah, no, you're my hero for that. I cannot imagine not waking up, starting the coffee machine,
yeah.
just getting ready for the day, and yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, well, I wouldn't have done it if it didn't fix the stomach thing instantly.
for
Like
sure.
that was the impressive thing. Like if it had been that it did nothing for me, then of course I would just pick it up again
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I really do enjoy the taste. I don't like it. It's been years since I've had any actual like caffeine benefits, like being more alert or just
It's just a habit. Yeah, you're
it
right.
doesn't help
Sometimes
at
you
all
get
with that anymore.
sleepy after coffee.
Yeah,
Sometimes I do get sleepy after coffee. So it's
yeah,
then you drink another one and it's just perpetuating it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. It's like those you have new biohacks right now.
Well, it's yeah, it's maybe yeah, it's an amazing hack to quit an addiction, but but yeah, we'll see how long it because in Finland it's practically impossible to be without coffee. We're the biggest coffee drinking country in the world per capita, so it's kind of like a built into our system, and it's such an important part of social interactions. Like if someone offers you coffee and say, "Do you have tea?" There's always the kind of you're demoting yourself in front of those people, and you're like,
Yeah,
it is what it is. So yeah,
cool.
we'll see.
So now that you gave up on coffee, how is your attention span on that technical marketing course that you're prepping for us and people don't stop asking me about?
Yeah, well, one does luckily not have to do with the other. So, yeah, we've been moving steadily. We have all the content is now done,
Oh shit!
and we're just kind of smoothing out the corners and trying to improve the UX even more. So the cool thing is, um, so the technical marketing handbook. For those who don't know, is it's just a project that we've been working on at Simmer. It's a website. It's basically kind of like a course, but it's more a set of free content organized into topics, and there's a progress tracker, and there's no signups required. You don't have to give your emails or anything. It's just go to the site and start reading, and it's based on kind of the T-shaped idea that when you enter digital marketing, you have your interest set on something, whether it's
Yeah.
search engine optimization or advertising or data and analytics. So that's your kind of your vertical bar. That's what you're going to be focusing on. And we want to help you kind of create that horizontal depth as well. So we want you to, if you work in technical marketing, I I really firmly believe that the more you can communicate with all these different parts of the digital organization, the better. Because the technical marketer is kind of uniquely positioned in that their skills overlap so many different things. Like
Yep.
it's, advertising, design, data science, engineering, cloud, programming, web development. So we're trying to help you with that, and
Somebody
hopefully,
asked if you guys are gonna give a certificate for it.
Yeah, there's going to be a certificate, but as we said, we don't, because you don't register for anything. We don't have a user database.
Okay.
The certificate is going to be kind of a simple thing. You just need to have like you have to have the progress 100%. Now,
Cool.
if you're wondering how the progress is measured if you don't register, it's just a browser cookie. So we're just maintaining how
People
far
are
you've
gonna
gone
be
on
like,
the
how do
how
you
far
track
you've gone.
them?
So it's easy to manipulate if you want. And if you change the browser, then of course your progress will be back to zero. But the point isn't the progress. Like it's just a gimmick. It's just a fun way of making sure that you're up to speed of what you've been learning.
And you're committed also because the progress is kind of like, it
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
you more
Yeah,
committed to it.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm
But the
excited
certificate
about.
is going to be like when you have 100%, you can kind of fill in your name into a form and it will generate the certificate for you and you can then share it. So it's not, it doesn't have the same gravitas as maybe an other similar certificates where you've actually enrolled and completed a long and extensive
Yeah.
course. This certificate is more like a just a nice memento that hey, I read this stuff and it was useful and I want to share it. So um, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Like it's been it's been super expensive to do because we've like just all the design and all the hours we put into it, and I have no idea what we expect the ROI to be. And I frankly, and my wife is going to kill me when I say this, I don't really care. All I want to do is put some nice content out there for people to digest, and I'm sure that it's gonna be a positive brand thing for us, and as such, it will turn into sales at some point. But for now, it's more like let's put something out to the community that's been so kind to us.
Okay, but when? When are you? When? That's the question. When? When?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
maybe shortly after this episode airs. Hopefully, like I said, it's just a
Be
couple of
careful
things
because
that are
I'm gonna
left.
release it this week.
Yeah. Okay. So then it's not going to be quite that soon, but yeah, we need to get some. We have some reviews going on, and then yeah, maybe that. Then we have to figure out how to market it as well. So soon.
So
But
yeah.
hey, it is what it is, and it's coming nicely. And I'm already anxious to start working on new courses as well. So I'm happy this is going to be over soon.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I really, really think it's gonna happen, and if you heard that, it was my I have this air freshener in the in the room. But one thing that I think it's gonna happen this year with this T-shaped thing is I think also for marketers they have to like build their technical skills, but also for people that are technical they need to build more of their business and marketing skills. So like everyone needs to kind of like catch up with collateral things because of how things are moving in the
Mm,
market right now. So it's pretty exciting. I when I just came back from Super Week and there was this panel talking about the future of education, the one that you were supposed to be in, and I kind of pissed off people a bit into it. I wouldn't have done it if you were there. I'm kidding. I would have totally asked the question, but it's like everyone was talking about new tool courses, right? Like we need to do this, we need to learn how to click here and click there, which is great. But kind of like in a moment of bravery, I took the microphone and I said to people, like, the last thing you guys need is another tool course. If you want to be a rebel,
mm,
learn how to read the profit and loss report, learn what's a business model. Like, we also need this type of knowledge as well. So marketers do need technical skills, but us people in digital analysts or engineers, they still need to have a bit, not too much, obviously, because it's not directly impacting your work, but just to be aware of the market, just to be aware of,
mm,
I don't know, what's an internal process or like just the basic business course. So I hope it's not gonna be me, but I hope that somebody that listens to this that feels like a rebel can do a business course for a digital analyst or for technical marketers or for data engineers, just so like it kind of like evens out.
mm,
This remark was not very well embraced, but in the live TV. But Tim Wilson messaged me and said that I was right, so I'll take
mm,
it. It was nice. But yeah, like kind of where I am right now, I just see this need for being exactly as you said, like more T-shaped. It doesn't matter what your role is. You need to like get some extra knowledge so you can be able to kind of like be on the same ground with people, and collaboration in general I think it's going to be very, very important and always has been.
mm,
But the market is pretty shit right now, so if you want to like be competitive, you have to build extra skills on the side. So if you're in a marketing role, you're going to be way better positioned at your job if you take technical marketing courses, or you learn a bit more about what you can do to be useful. And also, as an analyst, if you're working client side, I'm not talking about agency because it's a different thing. If you're working client side, it's also important to know more about the business and how you can show the value of your work to the leadership.
Mm.
But that's just me. If I have a feeling that you're gonna come with,
No, 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 no.
actually,
I like if you've been following what I've been talking about, I've been talking about communication and processes for the last 10 years. So I absolutely believe
yeah,
in that. I what I like caveats to that are um it's even if you're doing technical stuff particularly for agencies, I think the agency model needs to be disrupted quite a bit because
okay,
if if you work at agencies, there's a tendency to isolate you from the company's internal processes because you're paid for this and you're paid for that. You're
yeah,
not paid to participate. You're not paid to embrace the organization, like typically. Whereas, just imagine what the benefit for you as a professional and for the company as somebody who hires an expert would be if you actually integrated yourself into the company for as long as you work there. So this is it's a very expensive model because you're basically selling an FTE, like a full-time employee,
yeah.
instead of just somebody who does a bunch of tagging and then builds some reports. But the kind of cross pollination that happens for agency people who are typically isolated from how actual in-house processes work, and then for in-house people who are so in their bubble that they don't understand how the outside world operates, having somebody come in and disrupt that is so useful. Which is why these kind of management consultant things are still being
A
done.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that everybody should start doing that kind of FT things, but maybe when an agency sells a project, instead of just working in isolation and building some tagging and then sending a report by email, they start participating in the daily stand-ups of the developers. They join in those backlog grooming meetings. They join in the agile workflows. They start interacting with the people in the company, not just the one they're representing or represented by. It's because
No,
it's the
no.
soft skills count. They're difficult to teach, but they can make or break a marketer. Like, you can be the best technical developer in the world, but if you don't have that collaborative mindset, it's not going to take you very far. And vice versa. Like, you can be a very social person, but at some point, if you don't have the technical skills, people are going to call you out. Um,
Oh yeah.
so it's there are, and but the T-shaped thing, I absolutely agree with you. Like, whether it's business acumen or understanding financial reports or understanding how different things come together, or even just understanding how the company hires. Like, that's
Oh
one of the
yeah.
things which I don't think people respect enough, that every single hire determines the culture of the company. So understanding how the company hires goes a long way into for you to figure out what my current thing in this company can be. How can I progress? How can I move? So building that horizontal bar is not just about the technical skills, but
I wish
for
you were
me, yeah,
there. So when I said that, because people were
yeah.
like, "Oh,
Well, it was maybe the I have no idea because I wasn't there, but maybe it was the context was missing from your question in the sense that the panel was about, like, specifically about the new skills
yeah."
and
But you
changes
know
by
how I
AI.
am.
Yeah,
My
you just can't
I
read the
can't
room,
help
can
it.
you?
I can't read the room sometimes. I'm just like, hey, hey.
Yeah.
But
No, but hey, you know what? Anytime people get uncomfortable in a panel, that means that the panel is good, because most of the time panels are just like patting each other on the back and saying, yeah, I totally agree with you. They should be like fights. There should be people disagreeing about stuff,
right,
but it's
right.
so
Thank
chummy
you.
chummy. So I hated participating in panels because it was always about agreeing with the next one and just saying, what's your best tip for digital marketing in 2024, and then everybody just says their tip and that's it. You can't
It's like,
say,
oh
no, that
my
was a
god, that's
shit
so
tip,
true,
that was a
so
really
true.
bad tip.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I
Yeah.
meant.
No,
But
no, that's good.
but it's good because afterwards everything got more animated. So
Yeah.
you do what you do. But yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, of course it's important for us to do our jobs and be good at what we're paid to do, for sure. But if you it's not in everyone's nature to learn soft skills or want to learn soft skills,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But if you're trying to like grow in your career or be competitive, or like, because it's super, I wish personally, if I was in a place in my life where I would be just happy, with what
Mm,
I'm doing and just do my thing and move on. But unfortunately, I'm a very terrible person with that stuff, and I just always like to do new things, and I'm always excited about shit. I don't know how to turn it off. And there's a lot of people that have like kind of like that entrepreneur thing type of,
mm,
like fire in them. So of course, if you want to like do more, you have to learn more. It's impossible. Craig Sullivan had this saying that he told me like some years ago. He said like knowledge is like when you're sitting on the street and you see, the light, and the light around you is what you know, but all the darkness is what you
mm.
don't know. So the more you know, the more you see around you, because that's how you
Yeah.
open, your mind. And I like kind of like that analogy. But anyway, take if you're a marketer, invest in technical skills. If you're a technical person, invest in your like soft skills or business skills.
Mm,
It's worst thing you're gonna get is probably a raise or like a better job. Like there's no lose in this
yeah.
scenario.
But
But
I
yes,
do have to say to all the introverts out there that it's also,
yeah,
you can get very far,
by just
or to those like kind of single-minded people, you can get very far by just being very good at what you do
yep,
and ignoring those soft skills. You could get very, like, you don't have to stress out about being more social or more extroverted. That's not the point. It's more
exactly,
about like interactions. There are many ways to interact in our organization. It's not just about how well you behave yourself at the water cooler, or do you join the office parties, or do you join every meeting. It's also how you communicate over email, over Slack, how in time your projects are, how well you delegate. So you don't have to stress out about, do you have to start changing your personality or something. You can
exactly,
stay super proficient, and you can become the person who's known for their technical skills rather than their soft skills, and that's totally fine. What we're maybe going after here is that it helps to occasionally step out of the comfort zone and take an objective look at what you are still lacking in. And if you find yourself always isolated and unable to work with your colleagues, then it might be a signal, um, especially if the company prizes group work and teamwork. It might be a signal
yeah,
that either you need to change a bit, or then you need to find another company to work for, because that probably won't last very long, to the
yeah.
point where the company will start demanding you to participate more.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. Like we all are built in our way, and I take this
Yeah.
opportunity to tell to people, that even if I appear extroverted, I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's also like I'm a very introverted person. I will do the learning and the efforts and all that and the content, but when it comes to social gatherings, I'm never go to Christmas parties. I never
Mm.
go to like. It's not because I don't love the company that I work for. It's just I don't like to go to parties. I'm not a party person. So like it's
Yeah.
fine, like you just have to find your own way into the ecosystem. So, Simo, what are we gonna talk about in this season? Because this is good. Like it's like as always, we meet and we just talk about everything else, but what we're gonna talk about this year. So, what are we gonna do? Like, what type of content should people expect?
Um, you know, wh- why fix it if it ain't broke? So I think we're just gonna keep having interesting people on, and maybe do a couple of more solo episodes, just the two of us, talk about what's going on, and
Yeah,
trying to source the type of interviewees you might not necessarily see in every other event or podcast. I think our last season had a lot of familiar faces, which was of course lovely because they are good friends of ours.
of course.
But maybe look a bit beyond, to let people who don't necessarily always join podcast have a voice of their own. So
Yeah.
we'll see where it takes us. But I think just general rambling on about marketing and life.
Cool.
Marketing is life, somebody says. No, it's not. There's
For
more to
me,
it.
this year is gonna be. I got convinced, as I told you, like the other day, to go all in on mobile apps. I don't know how this journey is gonna look, but it's definitely something that I would love for us to talk
Yeah.
more in the podcast to figure out. Like like you know a lot of stuff about this space, but you choose probably not to talk about it because it's messy. But I think I think that's a lot of people like's opinion that I talk to. They're like, oh, I don't want to talk about mobile apps. It's like, why? Like it's why? But I get it in a way. I just never knew that this was an actually interesting topic for people. So something
It
that
is. Yeah.
I didn't know. I was in my bubble, man. I was in my experimentation data strategy bubble. But then randomly at Super Week, Julius was asking me about Firebase. And I said, oh, yeah, I already have this documented. So I showed him my own documentation. He was like, why you don't write about this? I was like, who cares about this? Like, everyone cares. And then Jules came and other people came, and they're like, you should write. So let's see. I hope we can find somebody. I would love for us to find somebody from the Firebase team and get them here and grill them a bit about Firebase. I think that would be interesting as an episode. I would love to grill somebody.
Well, I mean, we are still on plans to have Krista Seiden on board, and she
She
was a
was,
Firebase PM.
yes, that's the plan. That no,
Yeah.
I don't want to grill you, Chris. I love you, but I do have some questions.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And yeah, I mean, I think it's best for us to also like give opportunity for people that don't go to podcasts that often to come
Yeah.
here. And the funny part is most of the time the people that do not go are actually one of the most talented people. It's just
Mm.
it happens that they don't go to podcasts, or they don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big focus for us this year is gonna be to make sure we have a cool, diverse cast of guests that are coming and
Yes.
sharing with you guys. Hopefully, it's gonna be people that are new to you and people that you can follow and learn more things about. So really, really excited for the season. We're also I know we talked about bringing some SEO into the mix because we didn't have any SEO last year. So it's gonna be cool
Didn't
because
we? Oh,
no,
yeah.
I know fuck all about SEO. Like I'm ready to learn myself. So I know you
Yeah.
have experience in SEO, Simo. So I'm ready to be like
Yeah.
super. Like I make sure that at all conferences that I go, I make sure that tell people that I don't know shit about SEO.
Yeah.
I just know how to put the focus keyword and let Ragmat do its thing on my.
Just
If I,
don't. Just stop. Just don't say anything else. No.
I'll stop.
No. That's it. No,
That's
you
it.
had me at focus keyword. No. Just.
That's all I
Just.
know.
Just no more. No more. Yeah. We definitely did an SEO in the interview. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. There are some really, really lovely people there, and
Yes,
just brilliant, and you know. Many people think of SEO still as like keyword stuffing and stuff like that, but
just
it's like
like Juliana.
it's getting so interesting with the search generative experience and the whole AI integration, and just how search is becoming more isolated from the actual websites. Like you can already, if you search for something and you get the result there, why should you ever click a link anymore? So like
Yeah.
these zero click searches are amazing as well. Well, amazing for Google, maybe not for the content creators, but yeah, we're gonna definitely, that's a really good idea. So we have two top, we have mobile and we have SEO, and we'll pick up from there to see what we're gonna build for
Plus
you this year.
server side. And
Oh yeah, we
Simo,
can always talk about server side for
yes,
sure,
yes. But
and
also I
cookie
don't.
deprecation.
Yes, this is what I wanted. We forgot to make fun of this.
But we've made so much fun of it already. But maybe we can make more fun of it.
Stop, just stop. It's no doomsday. Stop with the cookies. Stop with the.
Yeah,
That's
we're
my
still gonna
message.
have
Like,
cookies,
nobody gives
people.
a
It's
shit.
not gonna be a cookieless future. We're gonna have
Exactly.
cookies. We're gonna have cookies in the jar. We're gonna have cookies in the browser. Cookies are still gonna be here.
Yeah, in the
Stop it.
mobile apps everywhere, like the
Yeah,
mobile apps cookies.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's like
stop.
what the fuck.
Yeah.
Stop,
Third-party
stop. Thank you.
cookies are out. Regular cookies are in. Stop.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares
Exactly. Cool. We did
except
it. We
Google.
did it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you guys. I love
But
you,
just stop.
but stop.
Yeah. Stop with the cookieless future stuff now. Now this is an order. This comes from the authority of the Standard Deviation Podcast. Okay,
Exactly.
good.
Good.
We'll return to that topic multiple times in this season.
Oh, and let's not forget that we want to say thank you to Josh Silverbauer
Oh
and
yes,
to Jason Packer, because you probably
for
heard
having too much
something
time on their hands.
for having too much time on their hands. And they made that beautiful intro that you heard in the beginning, and I'm still yet to figure out how it's gonna sound. But if you're hearing this part, it means it went good. So thanks, Jason and Josh, for taking the
Thank you.
time. If you want to follow them or connect with them, you'll find them in the episode description.
So we'll see you soon. We have
Ish.
we have or have not scheduled our next podcast yet, but we'll see what happens. We're at this point in our podcasting careers, illustrious, resplendent
Illustrious.
podcasting careers, that we don't really care what happens. It's
We
going to
just do
happen and
this
it's
for
going to be
fun.
good. Yeah. There's no seedy angel investors involved here who are forcing us to do things, except Simmer is a very seedy angel investor here. But anyhow, we'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks, probably over a month, whatever. And we'll pick up from where we left off with these just fascinating topics, saying a lot of words, but not actually saying anything.
That's
right?
exactly the essence of our intros sometimes in this podcast. It's just
Yes.
words, just words.
All
But
right.
if you are listening to this and if you want to read something cool, check out my article in the episode description about
Yes.
the introduction to mobile app ecosystem. We're gonna talk app stores. We're gonna talk a bit about SDKs, a bit about privacy. We're gonna talk about Firebase and GA4, of course, unfortunately, but fortunately. Check out the article. Let me know your thoughts. And this is gonna be a part of a big series, so we'll keep you posted as the podcast goes. See you guys next
Yes.
time.
Bye bye.